In their season opener against Portland, Kawhi Leonard made all 5 of his three-pointers. He finished with 23 points. Paul George had a game-high 27. The Clippers are at Utah Friday night. The Lakers play their home opener tonight against Phoenix. Tip-off at 7 on TNT. Houston Astros manager Dusty Baker is retiring. The 74-year-old Baker had a 26-year career as a manager with 5 teams. His 2,183 wins in the regular season ranked 7th all-time. He's 4th all-time with 57 postseason wins. As a player, Baker played 8 of his 19 Major League seasons with the Dodgers. Baker's retirement leaves the Dodgers' Dave Roberts as Major League Baseball's only black manager. Major League Baseball needs to fix that stat. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
Environmental justice, pollution, and climate. In Los Angeles and across America, people of color are suffering and dying from disproportionate health impacts on a planet that has less than 10 years to prevent irreversible damage. Heat illnesses, respiratory illnesses, water-related illnesses, food system impacts, insect-related diseases, black maternal health, and mental health effects. As the impacts of climate change mount, millions of vulnerable people, our people, are going to bear the brunt of these extreme environmental events, which will likely lead to forced displacement, loss of cultural identity, and other related risks. These realities are as real as rain. Stay tuned to KBLA Talk 1580 for more details about the most progressive multimedia and live events campaign any black media outlet has ever undertaken to combat the climate catastrophe. Experts, events, empowerment. It's all on the way from unapologetically progressive KBLA Talk 1580. We don't black down. We level up.
Level up, 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 level up.
First things first.
Things first, it's the DU General, Money B. I'ma put you up on the schedule. 6 to 9, 8 weekdays, not to unsettle you. Let's go. We got a lot to talk about, so much to pedal through. Unapologetically progressive. Tune to KBLA 1580 to get the mess. We're your ancestors' favorite radio station. First black on talk radio, left side of the nation. Me and Dominique DePrima go way back. Tap Smiley making sure the station stays black. Discussing all the issues in our community. We're hosted black and brown and others find unity. So let's talk about it. Maybe we can improve it. Digital underground, always down with the movement. So we tune in. The first things first with the queen of Black Talk Radio, Dominique DePrima. Go sis. First things first.
KBLA Talk 1580. Good morning and God bless. I'm Dominique DePrima, the show. First things first, my first thing every day, giving thanks, giving praises, asking for blessings from the Most High, asking for the blessings of the ancestors and the elders and getting it going. Happy Thursday. We have a lot to talk about as always. Hour 1, we usually look local, what's going on the left coast. Hour 2, we go national, international, and beyond. In the third hour, we do a deep dive with a person or persons of interest. It is quite a day around here. And you know, I always say that you are welcome in any hour. The number 800-920-1580, 800-920-1580. Rolling out that red, that black, that green carpet for engagement, conversation, dialogue. That said, I find that sometimes people are hesitant to call when I have a guest on the phone. You're still invited in, regardless of who is in here, whether it's a partner in politics or a deep dive. Just dial up and get in on this. You can also hit us up in the chat, KBLA 1580. We're streaming on YouTube. We are on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all of those places, KBLA 1580. And of course, I'm there at DePrima Radio, DIPRIMA, and then radio. And let's talk there. That's all good too. Yeah, the reparations conversation continues today. Something we are very committed to around here, making sure we keep this momentum going, that we keep the education going, that we inform ourselves and our families, our inner circles, our outer circles, our friends and frenemies, because we got to cut through the BS on this, and we have to help educate people and bring the various points of view, the factions, reparations factions, to the table, even if it's virtually, to find common ground. Because if there's one thing that hopefully will unite us as progressives and as Black people, it is the desire to repair, to honor the commitment this country has made to Black Americans, to repair the harm of enslavement, Jim Crow, etc. So we can go on to the next item on our to-do list, if you will. This would actually be a perfect time to call me, though, if you want to bring up something random, because we are going to be focusing hour 2 on the reparations movement with a special guest who I'm excited to interview. Dr. Ron Daniels will be joining us. Hour 3, fascinating guest that I have not had the opportunity to talk with, Chief Ayanda Clark, who is one of the premier experts on the African imprint on music and spirituality worldwide, Grammy nominee, and a highly sought after teacher, public speaker, creative consultant, artist, and musician. I think much more renowned on that other coast, the East Coast, but certainly has worked globally, Chief Ayanda Clark. So busy day today, which is always great. Never a dull moment around here. And lots to unpack. 800-920-1580. 800-920-1580, the number to call. In a season of strikes, when folks are on picket lines from coast to coast, and certainly California, more specifically Southern California, is experiencing this at a high level. The union organizing, the labor movement gaining traction. Los Angeles has always been a union town. Maybe not always, probably, going back centuries, not so much. But in the modern era, it's been a union town. The Screen Actors Guild, the AFTRA union, IATSE, all of these entertainment unions have been and remain strong. On top of that, you've got dock workers here and strong various unions that service the entertainment industry, trucking, the Teamsters, a lot of unions that have deep roots in Southern California. And our LA County Federation of Labor, despite recent scandals, has been a powerful force in that national organization, having a huge influence on politics beyond the walls of a union building, but into the walls, the halls of power. And that's a good thing, to be honest. Well, it wasn't such a great thing when we heard what was going on in that tape behind the scenes, but for the most part, the LA Fed has supported progressive, left-leaning, just good ideas, justice-oriented folks. So in the portrayals of Southern California and Hollywood, it's rare to see that, but in reality, the people who are making those portrayals are mostly unionized. And we see a resurgence now and a spreading to other areas like baristas and packagistas, Amazon, Starbucks, fast food, etc. And it is against that background that the California Supreme Court has said they will not hear an appeal from Disney about whether or not a local law in Anaheim applies to theme park workers. which means that a lot of those theme park workers are most likely going to get a raise. The 4th District Court of Appeal this summer ordered raises for what they call cast members, the people that walk around in those costumes and stuff at Disneyland. They ordered them to get raises, and they were retroactive, so they were meant to get back pay because of a class action lawsuit filed on behalf of those mice and dogs and all, Goofy and Mickey and all the people that are inside those hot, sweaty costumes bringing us joy when we go there, filed a class action suit saying that that law, that's city law, City of Anaheim living wage law, does not apply to them. But apparently that is not what the courts say. The attorney representing the workers at Disney said Disney is at the end of the road in terms of appeals. The court's not going to hear that case. So she said the only issue left is the amount of damages. Great news for the city of Anaheim. Great news for workers at those Disney campuses, cast members, as they call them, in the Anaheim jurisdiction. The Anaheim City Council is victorious, it appears. And it's interesting because it looks like it's a big win for the city of Anaheim in more ways than one. I'll dive a little deeper into that. What's happening? I think the happiest place on earth just got a little happier, at least if you work there. KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DePrima when we come forward.
Your floors can go from clean to dirty fast. From juice spills, whoops, to muddy paw prints, to little sticky finger marks. Good thing your Swiffer WetJet works fast too. Swiffer WetJet easily cleans everyday messes as quick as they happen. The next mess is right around the corner. So grab your Swiffer WetJet and just spray, push, all clean.
We're celebrating 1 year of the K. From checking out the vibrant art and diverse dining in Leimert Park to cheering on your favorite team in Inglewood, you can choose your own adventure when you ride the Metro K-Line. Leave the car at home and go Metro. Visit metro.net/K-Line.
Hey, did you know Vistaprint prints everything a small business needs? Like if a barbershop needs signage, we print outdoor signs, posters, and banners. Or if a ballet school needs merch, we print tote bags, t-shirts, hoodies, hats. Or if a coffee shop needs a total refresh,
latte for Mike?
Vistaprint designs logos and prints it on menus, mugs, paper bags, anything. Because with Vistaprint, the printabilities are endless. Print it all with 25% off for new customers with code NEW25 at Vistaprint.com.
We've got a lot to talk about.
Hi, I'm Ray Richardson, your sports connection here at KBLA Talk 1580. Join me and my co-host Neil Scarborough every Saturday night at 7 for Out of Bounds, the show that brings some flavor to the world of sports for 60 minutes. We take you beyond the scores and press conferences. We give you our point of view, the way black folks see what's going down. You can join the conversation and give us your analysis at 1-800-920-1580. Out of Bounds every Saturday night at 7 on KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black.
You like your style, though.
Los Angeles, black men are dying from preventable health causes and diseases, but you can be part of the solution. Join us Saturday, November 11th at the Michelle and Barack Obama Sports Complex next to Dorsey High for the African American Male Wellness 5K Walk and Run. Walk for your brother, walk for your father, walk for your son, walk for your uncle, walk for yourself. This is a free, family-friendly event for the entire community. We'll have free health screenings, vendors, kids' activities, and more. We'll see you at 8 a.m.
Your ancestors' favorite radio station, and your favorite morning show host. Let's get back to Dominique DePrima right now.
I'm not a lawyer. I just play one on the radio. But apparently, the dust up between the city of Anaheim and Disney went down, where Disney asked the city council to cancel these tax breaks that they had gotten in the past, or that they had been slated to get. $267 million in bed tax breaks for a luxury hotel project because that hotel was never built, but also a 45-year-old gate tax break that they had been getting. And so the city attorney for Anaheim said, well, since we've canceled those tax breaks, in their opinion, you don't have to pay a living wage. You don't have to comply with the city's living wage law. But the courts ultimately disagreed, first siding with Disney and ultimately siding with the workers. So that means many of those cast members will get wage increases to around $20 an hour, and they will get back pay. So, I mean, that's great news to me. Running around in that suit in the hot sun of Anaheim, that is more than a notion, and happy to see that victory for those workers. I'm always happy to see workers pay closer to what they're worth. $20 an hour is decent. It's still not a real living wage. A real living wage in Southern California is probably more like $35 an hour. But certainly the national wage, it's like $7.25, I think, an hour. It's under $8. Would never fly. You not here in Southern California. I don't know where you can live on that. There may be somewhere. I haven't found it. It seems to me the people that I know that are living in other supposedly less expensive places are telling me that it's going up. The cost of living, even in places we traditionally like to think of as less expensive, is going up. So I guess that's part of why we're in these streets asking for living wages. Let's go to Willie calling us from Palmdale. Hi, Willie.
Good morning, Dominique. You say call about anything random, so
Mm-hmm.
I just want to know. I've seen your boss your old boss at the KBLA stage.
I hope you call them and say KBLA. Willie, I hope you call over there and shout us out.
Sorry about that.
No worries. So, he's always there. He's there every year. You're talking about Stevie Wonder.
Yeah, he said he wished people stop acting foolish. He don't care who hear him. But what I called about was did any of those public defenders that was on your show ever become the judge?
Yeah, a couple of them won. I don't have the list right in front of me, but yeah, we actually had quite a good election. A couple of them lost, but a couple of them won. I think the man, I wish I had that list in front of me. But the tide, definitely turning in terms of, I think, people paying attention to who we're electing as judges, but also this idea that judges only should be former prosecutors. And like Holly Hancock won, for example. I know that for sure. And others as well. So not all of them. It wasn't a sweep, but we did have some wins there. And I think what we've seen in a year or so since that election in terms of judges making just insane rulings that catch national and local attention, the decision around the Black Lives Matter slap motion, and some of these other decisions that we've seen nationally, I think it's calling people's attention, i.e. the end of a woman's right to have say-so over her own body. Those kinds of rulings, I believe, the end of affirmative action, are a bit of a wake-up call for us to pay attention when we do have a vote on judges to try to do our research. In fact, it's time to dive back into that because we've got a primary election coming up in March.
Okay.
Yeah. I got to look that up. I don't have it memorized like that off the top of my head. I was pretty involved in it at the time, but I forget. But I know for sure Miss Hancock won.
It was good that you had them on there to speak about it and stuff and give the community the heads up on who to vote for and what to expect from them.
Yeah, shout out to Attorney
appreciate you
Carrie
doing
Harper
that.
because she's been crusading for us to know more about the judges and has actually helped me get in touch with a lot of those folks because, we always talk about who we'd love to have on the show. And by the way, I look forward to that when our KBLA delegation steps up and says, when are you going to have so-and-so? I always try, but many times we might not have the contact or we're just getting the gatekeepers and we can't get through to the people. So it can take time to deliver those folks, but we're always trying behind the scenes. If you say, I want you to talk to Babyface, please believe we are working on it. I want you to talk to, Netanyahu. I doubt he'd ever come on the show, but if that's what you ask for, we're working hard behind the scenes to deliver it.
One thing, Dominique, is there something new news on Michael Lee Thomas that he's been reimbursed or something?
Well, I mean, if you're talking about reimbursement, he did get his pay reinstated prior to the conviction. But my understanding is that once you're convicted, which he has been, that pay ends because at that point you're no longer on the city council. But he did get the back pay for the time where they had taken his check away, and by they I mean the city controller Ron Galperin and the city council members who voted for him to be suspended and then not paid. So he did get his pay for the period he was a council member. And he had another victory, which is that the judge ruled that he could stay out of prison pending appeal. He's appealing his case, and so he is free pending appeal. That was great news. And hopefully he'll win that appeal and never do a day in jail or prison. But if he doesn't, during this process, but it was interesting because the judge gave him that grace with a caveat, which is you have to hurry up and file your appeal. You can't slow walk this. So that I found really interesting, that the judge was sort of in a hurry to get Dr. Ridley Thomas to prison or to win the appeal. I mean, we could look at it that way, but the judge is saying, okay, you have a limited amount of time to file. You can't slow walk just to stay out of the justice system longer. So that was the bargain that they made. We'll hurry up, but we get to stay out pending appeal. And that's the latest that I have for you.
Well, I hope he gets I hope he gets favor.
Yes.
Because like everyone say, he's been putting a lot of good work in the community. So I pray that God give him favor.
Yeah, I second that prayer. Prayer works. Free MRT is what I say. Free MRT, because it just, even if he made mistakes or did things that look wrong, even though they're not technically illegal, jail time for someone who's had such a positive impact for so many as a public servant over the course of so many years.
If you worked at USC for 10 years, your kid can go there free.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to get a job there right now. No, I'm just playing. I should have got that job 10 years ago.
Yeah, that was back in '89 and '90. If you worked there 10 years, your children can go there.
I think
free.
it's still true because I actually knew a couple people whose children went to USC and they worked there, and it was pretty amazing because college is so expensive.
Yeah.
See me working 5 other jobs for the next few years, you'll know why. My child's about to go to college.
Well, that's a good thing.
It's a blessing, blessings on blessings. But yeah, I can see why. And schools do that to try to keep, top teachers and administrators, to give them an incentive to stay put, because it is competitive, even though for top teachers, it is competitive. And you know what? I feel bad. Maybe you can help me, Willie. I feel bad. Yesterday, we got so caught up in our debates around Black Lives Matter and other important topics like that victory in the case of Keenan Anderson, where his his killing at the hands of LAPD was ruled out of policy by the police commission, that I did not pay homage to Richard Roundtree, who made his transition at the age of 81. He was a powerful leading man in Hollywood films at a time when that wasn't even barely a thing. I mean, you had Sidney Poitier, and that was it. Well, Harry Belafonte, and that was it. Which, of course, we love those folks. But Richard Roundtree, made such a huge impact. He was he had a different kind of image, much more close to what we as Black Americans, saw in real life. He has been on TV, he's been in movies. His career spanned more than 40 years. And of course, still most well known for Shaft. That was in 1971. He was just 28 years old when he did Shaft. And he said, that people would call him Shaft. His name wasn't Shaft, it was Richard Roundtree. But it just goes to show you how iconic that film was and how impactful this man was in his career, and particularly when it comes to the way that Black men are portrayed in Hollywood.
You giving homage to him now, so that's because I was getting ready to say, I hate to disappoint you, Dominique, but I don't know who that is until you say Shaft.
Now you know who it is. His face comes right into your mind, right? Well, he was on Being Mary Jane. He was in Roots. He had breast cancer, which men do get, and it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So, you check, they teach us as women to self-exam to make sure we don't have cancer. But men should be getting those checkups. I know y'all don't like to go to the doctor.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
We call them man boobs.
But you don't even have to have so-called man boobs. Any man can get cancer, breast cancer. He was diagnosed back in 1993, but he was so passionate about, letting others know that men do get breast cancer. And so on top of his treatments, that he was able to live to 2023 with breast cancer. That's 30 years with the disease.
Well, it's good. It's good he put the work. I'm sad to hear that, because I was just looking at the program with him and with the three Shafts.
Yeah. Gabrielle Union said he was always the coolest man in the room with the best vibes. So, I mean, that kind of boosts the legend of Shaft too, right?
Yes, it does. Yeah. I also want to tell you, Dominique, not to dismiss the conversation, but I also looked at the video of them cleaning up the ocean, all those bottles and stuff in plastic. They recycle out the ocean. That's and it was the question was given to me, what am I doing to help the earth? So that had me pondering, and I guess I said recycle my goods.
Yeah. Well said, Willie. And recycle our goods and raise awareness. KBLA is getting ready to help you do that. And that is why we hear our governor is in China. Brief you on that when we come forward after news, traffic, and sports on KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DePrima when we come forward.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to a Thursday. I'm Mike Moore. Now, here's the latest from the Black Information Network. The new Republican Speaker of the House is promising to find common ground with Democrats. Louisiana Republican Mike Johnson took the gavel yesterday after getting enough votes to win the speakership following failed attempts from 3 of his fellow Republicans. Johnson acknowledged the process was a grueling battle. Johnson said he's humbled and went on to promise he'll immediately address pressing issues. In Illinois, bond is denied for a former NFL player charged in the death of his mother last month. African-American Sergio Brown appeared in court yesterday on first-degree murder charges. Prosecutors say the defendant was the last person seen with his mother before her body was found by neighbors back on September 16th. And that's the latest. I'm Mike Moore from your 24/7 news source, the Black Information Network, and BINnews.com.
The Monterey Bay Aquarium is more than a place to learn about ocean animals. They're also working to inspire conservation of the ocean by stopping plastic pollution, supporting sustainable seafood, and minimizing our carbon footprint. Join them in their efforts to protect the ocean.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
Impressive win for the Clippers last night in their season opener against Portland. Kawhi Leonard made all 5 of his three-pointers. He finished with 23 points. Paul George had a game-high 27. The Clippers are at Utah Friday night. The Lakers play their home opener tonight against Phoenix. Tip-off at 7 on TNT. Houston Astros manager Dusty Baker is retiring. The 74-year-old Baker had a 26-year career as a manager with 5 teams. His 2,183 wins in the regular season ranked 7th all-time. He's 4th all-time with 57 postseason wins. As a player, Baker played 8 of his 19 Major League seasons with the Dodgers. Baker's retirement leaves the Dodgers' Dave Roberts as Major League Baseball's only black manager. Major League Baseball needs to fix that stat. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
Attention small landlords who own 12 or fewer residential rental units. The City of LA Emergency Renters Assistance Program is back to help small landlords and is now accepting applications. Apply for up to 6 months of rental arrears for low-income residential tenants behind on rent. Applications will be accepted until October 31st, 2023 at 6 p.m. Go online 24/7 at housing.lacity.org or call 888-379-3150 to see if you qualify and apply today. City of LA Small Landlords. This program is for you.
At City National, we listen to you.
I want to expand my business and my legacy.
I want to set up the next generation for success.
I want to see my vision come to life.
I want to feel right at home.
Your goals, passions, vision, future. We want to hear it and work alongside you to achieve it. Visit cmb.com to learn more. City National Bank. Here for our clients and communities.
The Green Foundation, key health influencer, empowering our Black communities through action. The Green Foundation advocates for affordable health care, accessibility, and knows the importance of culturally relatable health care. Regardless of income, we believe it is a right for optimum health. The Green Foundation has been at the forefront for 25 years, dedicated solely to promoting prevention through early detection, annual screenings, and nutrition. We know you because we are you. Our hand-holding approach supports you and your family to receive your right to be treated fairly and receiving quality healthcare services. We want you and your family to know COVID-19 was devastating to our families and to our wallet. We can build back better by understanding prevention, wearing your mask, washing your hands, social distancing, and understanding the impact of long COVID. Get the care you deserve. Take advantage of your privileges. Contact us, info@thegreenfoundation.net. info@thegreenfoundation.net.
Hey, did you know Vistaprint prints everything a small business needs? Like if a barbershop needs signage, we print outdoor signs, posters, and banners. Or if a ballet school needs merch,
1, 2,
we print tote bags, t-shirts, hoodies, hats. Or if a coffee shop needs a total refresh,
latte for Mike?
Vistaprint designs logos and prints it on menus, mugs, paper bags, anything. Because with Vistaprint, the printabilities are endless. Print it all with 25% off for new customers with code NEW25 at Vistaprint.com.
Discover, this is Danny.
Hi, it's Jen Coolidge. I just want to thank you for making me feel so special. I earned cash back on debit for my dinner party groceries.
That's great. But with Discover Cashback Debit, we give everyone cash back on everyday purchases. Anything else I can help you with?
Are you hungry? 'Cause everyone left after the asparagus sorbet.
Introducing Discover Cashback Debit, a checking account with cash back. It pays to Discover. Eligibility and terms at discover.com/cashbackdebit. Discover Bank, member FDIC.
Thanks for waking up with Dominique DePrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
Wow, so much to cover. But plenty of time to do so. So call me if you got something to say. 800-920-1580. And thank you, Willie. Appreciate your insight and your perspective. Just as the UN puts out another report another scary report about the climate emergency and what it could mean for us. And by us, I mean human beings, like all of us that depend on oxygen and a certain kind of environment on the planet to be able to survive. All of us, those that categorize themselves as human beings, and our animal kingdom friends. Yeah, every time the UN puts out a report, it's scary. Humanity is on course to multiple tipping points, the LA Times reports, that could lead to irreversible instability or the complete collapse of ecological and institutional systems. I feel like every time the UN puts out a report, it pretty much says that. But this is the Interconnected Disaster Risks Report, and they focus on certain types of dangers to the planet. And of course, apparently California is like the poster state for some of these things, i.e., groundwater depletion, even though we've had those huge storms over the summer and spring. Groundwater depletion is still a problem here because it doesn't automatically replenish with a bunch of rain. Rising insurance costs. We know that's a thing here in California because you can't even get insurance if you live in certain regions. Extreme heat. Well, have you met SoCal weather lately? I live in a home that never needed air conditioning when I bought it, and now it doesn't have it and does need it. The other thing, and species extinction. Apparently that's a problem here in Southern California. I guess I haven't focused on what species, because it seems like we got animals everywhere. I know the coyotes ain't extinct. They're walking down the street in the middle of the day. The only thing that they reported on that are not problems for us right here in Cali is melting glaciers and space debris. But just in time for this report, the governor of the state of California is in China. He went to China to try to talk about how we can cooperate to end the climate emergency. Apparently, it's not unusual for a governor to travel to another country and have such a meeting. It's just that relations between China and the United States are strained, to put it lightly. And Gavin Newsom was greeted with bells and whistles. I mean, apparently he was treated very deferentially by Chinese officials and even got to sit down with President Xi. Apparently, reportedly, they also talked about fentanyl, which is a scourge on California, in which the Chinese government plays a role, according to U.S. officials, in importing into the United States. So Newsom was trying to, improve our relationship in these two areas, and the Chinese state media said that President Xi told Newsom, "I hope your visit will enhance mutual understanding between the two sides and play a positive role in expanding cooperation between China and California." It certainly makes Governor Newsom look presidential. And if I'm being honest, I'm not mad at that. I don't agree with every single move the governor makes. He's made some great moves for our state, and he has he definitely has presidential potential. Let me put it that way. So hopefully this yields results for California, and definitely it sort of burnishes his foreign policy bona fides, so he can be a more of a contender. Obviously not for 2024, but possibly for 2028. Why not? It's right around the corner. Speaking of LA Times, they do have an interesting article today about the way that the conflict between Hamas and Israel, the bombing and decimation of the Gaza Strip, and the possibility of an expanding war, puts a spotlight on the politics of the candidates to be our next U.S. Senator from California. Of course, the leading candidates, Barbara Lee, Adam Schiff, Katie Porter. I myself have only heard Adam Schiff speaking on this. And although I've interviewed Congressman Schiff, and he did amazing work as an impeachment manager, he was quite hawkish on Israel. And I mean, I would expect any U.S. congressperson to stand against the October 7th attacks and condemn Hamas for that. But I was surprised at the extent of the hawkishness I heard from Congressman Schiff in an interview on CNN. Katie Porter, Adam Schiff, and Barbara Lee, their politics around Israel and Hamas will be under a microscope right now. Barbara Lee made a statement that our country has a responsibility to call for a ceasefire. That, apparently, in today's environment, is controversial. She also called for the whole world to come together. She says, calling for a ceasefire, calling for the whole world to come together to try to stop the escalation of what is taking place in the Middle East, and peace is possible if we can bring all parties together to talk. That, to me, is not controversial, but in today's environment, it is. Congressman Schiff said, the only sentiment I want to express right now when Israel's going through its own 9/11 is unequivocal support for the security and the right of Israel to defend itself. That also doesn't seem controversial, but if you see that that interview on CNN, you'll see what I'm talking about. Very hawkish. No recognition whatsoever of the fact that thousands of Palestinians are dying right now. Apparently, the death toll in Gaza is up to 6,000. And I don't see how you can not acknowledge that. But that is not controversial. Katie Porter said, I stand with Israel in this time and condemn the loss of lives, both of Palestinians and Israelis, who are the victims of this terror. She said the United States has allowed terrorism to flourish and has refused to take a strong enough stance against Iran, which backs the militant groups Hamas and Hezbollah. She said she criticized Trump for withdrawing from the treaty with Iran. And it's just, so it's like Schiff on the right, Porter in the middle, Lee on the left. And none of them on what we would call a far, a strong justice stance. But for people who are wondering, where people stand and who's progressive on what issue, this will certainly be a moment of revelation. It's not too late to call me, 800-920-1580, 800-920-1580. I've been warning you about these driverless cars. Now the DMV is as well. Touch on that when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580 is an intervention. When we come forward, includes you. KBLA Talk 1580, turning pain into power.
We're celebrating 1 year of the K. From checking out the vibrant art and diverse dining in Leimert Park to cheering on your favorite team in Inglewood, you can choose your own adventure when you ride the Metro K-Line. Leave the car at home and go Metro. Visit metro.net/K-Line.
As veterans, we're no strangers to helping others.
That's what we were taught, service before self.
But we do have one question for the veterans listening.
When was the last time you reached out for help?
If you or someone you know needs resources, whether it's for stress, finances, employment, or mental health, don't wait. Reach out.
Find more information at va.gov/reach. That's va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
A sense of peace. A place to kick back and put down roots.
a lasting legacy. However you define home, at City National, we're committed to helping you get there with our City National Ladder Up Home Loan Program. Find the full benefits at cnb.com/ladderuphome. City National Bank, here for our clients and communities. Ladder Up program is available only in select areas. Terms and conditions apply. Not all applicants will qualify. City National Bank is an equal housing lender. Member FDIC. NMLS ID 536994.
For all of us, this generation and the next, there is simply no place in our lives for litter. And yet, it's everywhere we look. And unfortunately, it does belong to all of us. So, let's come together and create a litter-free, clean California, once and for all. Remember to properly dispose of your trash and recycling. Secure truckloads with tarps to keep debris from flying out. Clean out your car when you're at a gas station. Take pride in your community by organizing a cleanup event. Or join a cleanup event near you. Zero litter is the goal. Join us at cleanca.com. That's cleanca.com. Let's do it together. Brought to you by Caltrans. cleanca.com.
This is KBLA Talk 1580, where everybody is somebody and nobody is a stranger. You belong here.
Yeah, speaking of crazy things going on in Southern California, shout out to Jasmine Canick for her work in advocating for this woman, Amy Malone. Apparently was part of the Pan-African Film Festival organization. She was speaking out in public comments at a San Bernardino City Council meeting when someone jumped in the Zoom, a couple people jumped in the Zoom and started calling her the B word, the N word repeatedly as she was speaking out against the hiring of this guy, Charles Montoya, to be city manager because he has a problematic background, misconduct allegations from a previous employer. And there are several crazy things about this. It was circulating online. If you see it, is that the guy says, someone shut this B up, go home, you B, go back to Africa if you don't like it. Then they start saying the N word, and the city officials kind of freeze, and they're like telling her to be quiet while they wait to figure out what's going on. And she says, in the moment she says this is inappropriate. Then the guy agrees with her that it's inappropriate, but they don't immediately apologize. Not only that, not only to her, but as she points out, Amy Malone is her name, to the room, right? They 2 days later they apologize, but it's really not a good apology. And when I say not a good apology, they don't specifically apologize to Amy. They don't specifically apologize to the black people in the room or the black people of San Bernardino. She said the apology is too late, and she didn't even go to the event where the mayor, Helen Tron, made the apology because she said they didn't invite her. They put out a general invitation, but someone calls me an N-word and a B-word and tells me to go back to Africa. In your city council meeting, you have an event to apologize and you don't invite me? What even is that? I remember, conversations with a renowned psychologist talking about what makes a good apology. A good apology is you say what you're apologizing for, you say, why it was harmful, and you say what measures you're going to take to make sure it never happens again. That's a good apology. A bad apology is like, oh, sorry if anyone was offended, or, we regret that this happened. Those are bad apologies. He's in the meeting, the city officials said, well, oh, sorry, this shouldn't have happened. Sorry, but not, I apologize. And, really, that to me is like a hate crime. This woman is trying to speak her mind. And yes, the San Bernardino police are investigating it as a misdemeanor. And they say they're taking measures to make sure that happen again. And Amy Malone says she's not going to be intimidated. She'll keep speaking out. But that is hate speech. You are trying to shut down a woman's right to participate in her local government through intimidation and racial hate speech. And by the way, they went ahead and hired this dude anyway. So thanks to this terrible incident, folks are going to be tracking this Montoya character, and he better not have any misconduct this time around. What the mayor said is, anyone who heard what was said, it was offensive and unacceptable. Last Wednesday does not define us as a city. That is not who we are. Tonight we stand together, united as a community, because hateful comments by two individuals are not a reflection of the city of San Bernardino. That is not an apology. It is a PR statement. An apology is to Miss Amy Malone and all of the black folks and BIPOC people who were present. We deeply apologize that you were subjected to hate speech. And then you can go into your PR spiel about it was inoffensive and it's not who we are. You have to say, we're sorry you were subjected to hate speech. We're taking measures to make sure this never happens again and that you will be safe at future city council meetings. Then you can go blase, talking point, PR pivot. You don't start there, and you certainly have to invite the person who you offended. Two individuals are not the reflection of what the city of San Bernardino is. How about we are investigating these two individuals, and they will be held accountable to the highest extent of the law? How about that? How about that? How about protecting black women? How about, and you wonder why we say Black Lives Matter. I guarantee you, had that been anybody else from any other community and they had been insulted that way in a public meeting, they would have got a specific and thorough apology, as they should. Okay, I did tell you I was going to talk about those automated cars. I will get to that. And your phone calls when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
A safe place to go loud. A great place for progressive politics. KBLA Talk 1580.
Do you have both Medi-Cal and Medicare?
If so, the new LA Care plan called Medicare Plus can help you get the most out of your health plan for $0.
LA Care provides personalized service to Angelinos like us.
Plus, it gives us access to doctors and specialists across Los Angeles County.
For zero cost, we get access to full benefits.
From vision coverage,
in-home support services,
to prescription drug coverage,
and a quarterly over-the-counter allowance.
plus personal equipment.
Meal programs,
a gym membership,
And so much more.
for more than 25 years,
LA Care has provided Angelinos with access to quality health care at an affordable cost.
For our families,
our seniors,
our community,
it's a plus.
it's a plus.
for all of us.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 believes in community empowerment through the arts. Tia Chucha Central Cultural is on a mission to transform community in the Northeast San Fernando Valley and beyond through ancestral knowledge, the arts, literacy, and creative engagement. The Northeast San Fernando Valley has a population of about 500,000, the size of the city of Oakland, yet it has no bookstores, art galleries, or full-fledged cultural spaces until Tia Chucha's opened its doors in 2001. Founded by renowned poet and activist Luis Rodriguez, Tia Chucha's Cultural Center provides a year-round free or low-cost arts and literacy bilingual intergenerational programming in mural painting, music, dance, writing, visual arts, healing art sessions, and healing talking circles. Activities also include Mexica, Aztec dance, indigenous cosmology, philosophy, and 2 weekly open mic nights, one in Spanish, the other in English. In addition, they host author readings, film screenings, and art exhibits. To express yourself, heal yourself, attend an event, or volunteer, please visit www.tiachucha.org. That's TIACHUCHA.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Your floors can go from clean to dirty fast. From juice spills
whoops, to muddy paw prints, to little sticky finger marks. Good thing your Swiffer Wet Jet works fast, too. Swiffer Wet Jet easily cleans everyday messes as quick as they happen. The next mess is right around the corner. So grab your Swiffer Wet Jet and just spray, push, all clean.
You can do it all by yourself, baby girl. What's your name? Let me talk to you. Let me buy you a drink.
Spilled your drink? Quick, the quicker picker-upper. Bounty picks up spills quicker, and each sheet is 2 times more absorbent, so you can use less than the leading ordinary brand. So you can get back to your night. Bounty, the quicker picker-upper.
Broadcasting live from Leimert Park, USA. Welcome back to your home for unapologetically progressive radio, KBLA Talk 1580.
It is Leimert Park, USA. So glad to be here, but all the way from Richmond, California, we've got Ron. Hey, Ron, did you know that your city, the city of Richmond, became the first city in the country yesterday to pass a resolution supporting the Palestinian people? Richmond is in the news right now, but I'm pretty sure that's not what you called about. Good morning, Ron.
Oh, okay. I guess that's a good thing. You just mentioned that.
Yeah, I mean, I think it is. I think it's a good thing. I feel like people, I hope that people don't take it to be anti-Semitic, because I'm sure that's not what it is. But they came pretty hard with the language. They accuse Israel of ethnic cleansing and collective punishment. That was passed by the city council on yesterday.
Oh, okay. I heard that. I also wanted to pay homage to Richard Roundtree, rest in peace. He was also on an episode of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air too back in the day.
Oh, I don't think I saw that episode.
Yeah, I think he was playing the father of a female college student, and Will Smith was trying to take her out on the show. He wouldn't let nobody. He wouldn't let nobody. It was funny. Yeah, he wouldn't let nobody get to her. That is funny.
The dad is Shaft, basically. Wow.
Yeah. That was a funny episode. Yeah, he wouldn't let nobody get to his daughter unless they was, highly educated and all that good stuff. Yeah. Might be to pull that up on YouTube or something like that. But he would be missed. He was a great actor. So rest in peace to Richard Roundtree.
Yeah, and apparently quite an activist around black men's health.
Oh, yeah. I was listening to you. Yeah, I had to get my colon checked a few years ago. So that was very, very important. Yeah, you put that information out. That's some good information to have.
I know brothers don't like to go to the doctor, but y'all go, because we want you to stick around,
For real.
We want preventative care. Keeps you on the planet.
That's what's up, real talk. All right, thank you, Dominique. I appreciate you taking my call. I'm always tuned in, watching you on YouTube and all that good stuff.
Hey, I just waved at you on YouTube.
All right, on. Keep up the good work. God bless y'all. Much love, KBLA.
Yeah, we appreciate you. And I know, Ron has been one of our KBLA day ones, since we launched this project on Juneteenth of 2021. And I know Ron is telling his friends to download the app, to follow us on socials at KBLA 1580. These things make a difference. We know, and the world knows that you're standing with us. News, traffic, and sports. And then we're talking reparations on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to a Thursday. I'm Mike Moore. Now, here's the person took the gavel yesterday.